Kia ora koutou, ko Christiane Rudolph Anania. I'm the lead whānau ora kaiarahi for Te Aha Oranga. I'm here with Dave, one of our whānau member that we're supporting, and we're just here to talk about Dave's journey with us through these COVID times. So Dave, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate your time to be able to support this and offer your unique story to other whānau out there. So let's just begin with maybe a little bit of a quick story about pre-COVID, so before you come here.
Okay. Well, I was homeless, living in my car, a little blue Ford Laser, which was parked around behind an abandoned radio station here in Dargaville. It wasn't much fun, to say the least. We had no running water. There was no showers or anything like that. So, yeah, it was pretty tough. And there was quite a few people. There was 5 people there at the time, ranging from ages of 15 to 70. And we all tried to support each other. And then Tiha came along and I met Christiane.
So I remember, Dave, when I met you and the others, was just before COVID actually, when I started coming around and asking you guys if you would like to receive some support in terms of health support. And when COVID hit, I continued to come around and provide you with those hygiene packs and food packs. I just want to know, Dave, did that make much of a difference to the situation then? Like, were you in need of those sanitary items? Because I know that, rough sleeping can be hard at the best of times, so...
Yeah, absolutely. When you're out on the street living in a car or wherever you live, not all of us are lucky enough to have a car to live in. Yes, it made a huge difference. It's, sanitary packs, something as simple as that. There was, we were given food parcels. Wow, that was just like amazing, for somebody to come and give you food. It got hard, but Christiane and Tiha, just brilliant. They came at the right time. Well, it was the right time for me and the others that were living in the radio station. It was a godsend.
Thank you, Dave. During COVID, we were lucky enough to open emergency housing in response to COVID. So we currently run a 15-unit COVID motel. And at the time, we were able to place all of our homeless that were off sleeping in Dargaville into the motel. And so Dave has been with us since day dot. We're now a year old. And so I just think, Dave, that maybe you could tell us your story and how we've supported you while you've been in the motel.
Okay. The support that I've been getting has just been astronomical in ways that I didn't even expect. It's been quite a journey. It feels like I suddenly fit in and I've got a big family around me, because that is basically what this is, especially having so many, people around you now. It's just been really amazing. Tiha supports us in anything we do as much as they can. I've gotten so much support through them, not with just with doctors, courts, addictions, which I'm guilty of. And it's ongoing. It gives me breathing space, and it's just been brilliant.
I know, Dave, that what's been important to you is building good relationships, and I know that while you were here that you built 2 really significant relationships. And can you describe how it has been for you to have those relationships?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like while I've been here, I did make two, really, really good friends, an amazing relationship. It was good because, like, before that, living in a car by yourself, you tend to keep yourself locked away from everyone, and you had very little interaction between people. But since I've been here, it's been brilliant, and the two relationships that I built here, they're very special. The only sad part of it is that, like, those two relationships, the people concerned have now moved on, to bigger and better things. So it's been like really, really good in the respect of the relationships, but like it's really sad when you lose people that, like, you're close to.
Mm. Do you think, if our service was able to, or no, that's not my question. Um, if our service could do better in this space, what do you think it might be?
To do better than, to be perfectly honest, I don't think you could do better. You deal with a lot of different personalities. It's like Christiane said, there's 15 rooms here, 15 different personalities, 15 sets of problems sometimes. But it's not always negative. We have a lot of fun too. I mean, it's like I said, it's been turned into like a family experience. It's not always perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, wherever you live, it's never perfect. But
Mm.
no, I mean, I don't think there is anything better that you do. You just do everything you can. If we have a problem, your door, is always open. We come.
Mm.
If you can help, which you usually do. So, like, just having that support there is just like, wow, it's brilliant because you don't get that out living on the streets.
Mm.
People turn your nose, they turn their noses down on you,
Mm.
So now here it's brilliant.
What is your ultimate goal, Dave?
Oh, my ultimate goal would be to have my own place again. I had it all once and lost it all because, like, as I said, I've got an addiction. I'm an alcoholic, but presently I'm been 15 days dry. So
Congratulations.
thank you. And yeah, no, the ultimate goal would be to have my own place and my own space. Um, it would make me happy. Which and don't get me wrong, it's like, it's like I said, living here has been just like amazing. But you get to the point where you have to move on. Where and Tiha and the motel have been a great stepping stone for that.
Mm.
Thinking time, it gives you time to think, get your head around things, and get your life sort of like back on track.
Yeah, and
So
that's hugely
yeah,
important
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah,
I think too, in this space, especially during COVID, it was a time of learning for everybody. And then all of a sudden, we didn't have the rest of the world that we could lean on.
absolutely.
And I almost felt like I understood about what it was like to be alone and to be, in that space by myself. And I think it's quite likened to the same as being homeless and being in your car
Yeah, yeah,
and not so sure who you're going to turn to or even want to have a conversation with about support.
yep, absolutely.
And I think that's probably one of the things about Te Ha is the ability, so we were able to come face to face with you and have a conversation
Yeah,
with you.
yeah,
And, I remember the day that we opened the motel and we brought everybody in, and the sense of being overwhelmed, and the feedback was like it was, surreal for them.
yeah,
And that, wow, we've got hot water, we've got
yeah,
this, we've got Wi-Fi, we've got Sky, we've got a warm bed.
yeah.
But the best thing is it wasn't short term.
No, that's true. That's true.
And we don't have, and that's the uniqueness of this motel, It's run by whānau water service, where the service is on site and we have an upfront, intimate relationship with everybody here.
That's true.
So, yes, there's been highs and lows at the motel. We've certainly had our teething problems, but we're unique here. There's not 3 or 4 motels here, emergency housing or transitionals. There's only one, and it's us. And I think that's what makes the difference here, and that's why we're successful. And people have grown here, and they have been able to understand themselves. And I think that was one of the positives about COVID, is that we now had to rely on ourselves and our own resilience, that maybe we had become a little bit complacent. Whereas unlike you, Dave, you were in your car for, months on end, and you already knew your resilience.
Yeah.
Where the whole country got pushed into having to learn about themselves.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
their closest relationships. I can imagine people, excuse me, we're too busy in our lives where we're going to work, mum and dad's going to work, and we're like ships in the night sometimes. Our kids are often having their own lives, so we have our own lives outside of this whānau relationship. And then we all, during COVID, it was the opportunity to come back and live together.
Yeah.
And find out more about each other. And I think that's what is different about this motel. This is the village, and this is about us all living in the space together.
Yeah.
And so we've got a makeup here of different whānau and different issues, if that's what you can call them, because really to me it's life. But we support each other. We've got different dynamics as there is in a village. We've got the beautiful princess, we've got the other princess who doesn't think she's a princess, then we've got the young handsome man, and we've got the old guy who's full of wisdom, and we've got the kaumātua queer, and we've got all our tamariki, and we're all really sensitive around them and make sure they're all safe, and so that's that environment.
Yeah.
So is there anything lastly that you want to add about yourself and your journey? And
well, it's like I said, I've been fortunate enough that Christiane found me and gave me, this opportunity to keep going on a journey that I am now. It's given me so much time to think, get myself together, or try to as best I can with Te Hau's support. And once again, I cannot speak highly enough of what Te Hau have done for me and still continue to do, not just for me, but for everyone around here. So thank you, Christiane.
Pleasure, Dave.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Okay, so we better move on now and do some other work. So, kia ora. Thank you. Ka kite.